Hello everyone, my name is Val and today we are doing old palette review actually. It's not a newbie and I just decided to go into the Basic Witch by BellaBeauteBar. This palette is a Halloween color story. It was released in 2023, so it's quite not a new one, but it's still very nice. And if you're a purple loving or pink loving person, maybe there is something for you, including this makeup look that I've created. So if you're interested what it is, how to work with it, if it's worth it, everything about it, or maybe if it's worth taking another one instead, let's get into it. So today I'm starting with Basic Witch. It's actually quite an old palette and I'm showing you the palette itself so that you can see what we're dealing with. It's a Halloween to me in colors, but with pinks and a couple additional shades, so to say. I am quite curious how it's gonna turn out. I want to mix today the darker shade with pinks. So we have somewhat purples, we have somewhat pinks, we have a couple Creep It Real green and Grimoire orange, and so we gotta try to do something pink today. I applied the powder all over my eyelid. I don't think it was enough. So ideally the first thing to do is actually to cover everything in the lightest shade from the palette so that you have the base. But I'm not that smart yet, so I'm starting with the shade Glinda. I'm placing it into the inner corner. Very nice pink, light pink. Then I'm taking the shade Conjure and I'm starting to place it by the crease, the future crease. I'm trying to blend it right away basically. But as you can see, it may get a bit patchy, and because of that it's best to apply the light shade below it. So pigment is very sticky to specific places and it likes to get stuck and you need to handle it basically. So I will place the shade Glinda first pretty much all over so that I can have my blending base for all the darker colors later as well. And then I'm placing the Conjure to the crease side. Next to it, I'm gonna place the shade Coven. The same story. I'm thinking that I need something underneath this shade because it's a pigment. And I'm getting back to Glinda to outline what I need in pink. And then I'm going back to Coven. Coven is very nice purple in the cool zone, I would say. And I am using it as a outlining shade, as I mentioned, pretty much over the whole look. And then I'm switching temporarily to Conjure because it will be the next shade that I'm mixing the things with. I'm trying to blend it on the outer third of the eye. And yeah, I'm going back also to Glinda to blend it outside to the brow. Then to darken this thing up, we will take the shade Black Cat. It's not a black shade, it's dark purple, so it will not be completely black in this look. Just set it there and I'm just placing it to the darkest parts of my makeup. Then I'm blending things here and there just to have it, sometimes with an empty brush, sometimes with a pink shade, so that it's just present, so to say. And after that I think we're ready for our shimmers. I have few options here and they are all very interesting. So the Witch Please is going from blue to pink. It's with a very pink base. I think that will be the main kind of shade. Then we also have Perfectly Wicked. We have the interesting shade Cauldron, goes from green to purple. We have Resting Witch Face from purple to green on opposite, but a different shades of purple and green, to be honest. And yeah, let's take Witch Please. I'm just tapping it to the moving lid, to the area limited by my pink shades. Then I'm taking the Perfectly Wicked into the inner corner and to the bottom line, bottom lash line and bottom lid basically. And I think I may add a dot of Resting Witch Face right into the center because it's kind of giving a bit more interest like that. I started to really like this kind of looks and it just breaks the pattern slightly, and that will be the idea here. Yeah, I think I need only to add a liner here and I will be ready to come back to you with the finished face. So this is the look, and I just have to say that pink shades of such intense color actually bring a lot of my own pinkiness out, even though I do have a foundation. But to be fair, I also added blush. But everything that is more bright pink going into orange will bring my pink undertone forward like crazy. When I was 19, I actually had a short period of time when I was ginger, like redhead. I dyed my hair and I was a Peppa Pig because I was just so pink in the face and everything. It was ridiculous. And since then I decided that I will stay blonde or white like now. So yeah, about the shades. So this is a Halloween palette to me, as I said, and this is pretty nice pink shades. It's just a bit too Peppa Pig shades to me right now. It's like, it's not my favorite. Like this one specifically, this is not my favorite. This one I'm okay with. Purples I'm okay with. Nothing wrong. I really like this shade. I do like the Black Cat shade, and we also touched 3 multichromes from here. It's all on my face and you can see that it's doing something. This is so far good. I have to state that they are pigments. In fact, you have to use something below them. So I used the light pink shade all over the lid when I was doing this eye, and it turned out much better in blending because, yeah, it's just how the pigments work. Or you need a lot of powder to be applied as if it's a pigment, then it's gonna work too. I only lightly dusted my eyelid with the powder and it's not enough. This is not the way to go. And when I did just first light shade all over, then the blending was super easy. Everything was super comfortable to work with. It doesn't have any troubles, it doesn't give any problems, so you have to do it this way to achieve good results. In my vision, at least, good results. So this makeup is more like a basic, but to be fair, it's basic witch, so I'm not too much into the experiments for today at least, and this mostly pink palette doesn't give too much of room, let's say, for me. I will try one more with green, one more with orange, and then I will just do something somewhat nude-ish, I would say. At least I will try to. And I think that will be the plan, at least, because yeah, I don't want to stretch. There are multiple variations and things that you can do, but I don't want to stretch this review for 5 or 6 makeup looks. I would prefer to keep it in 3 to 4. I would still touch every shade throughout the 4 looks. It's enough for 15 shades at least. And yeah, I already know how to work with that, and I just want to kind of try out different makeups with this palette. And I'm waiting for the Dark Dreamscape. I bought it. I also bought a couple lip balms and couple pencils, but I did not get any pigments or highlighter, nothing like that. So I will explain everything when I actually get it, and we will get into the review mode with it. So far I think it's pretty good. Nothing wants to crease or do something weird. I also added the High Vis, I guess it is, the green shade into the look, because yeah, Halloween makeup, I want to keep it more like a Halloween side, but at the same time I don't want to do too much. I don't know how to explain that. It's just, I don't want to burn out from everything that I try to achieve this Halloween season. So yeah, green into the waterline and slightly to separate the pink from the purple, just for the accent. Nothing too special. Yeah, that will be it for this makeup look. And what else do I have on my face? I actually have 3 foundations today. It's NARS Osla, it's light reflecting, NARS Mont Blanc, also light reflecting, and House Lab 330s. So that gives me a bit of a tone. I would say it's a bit darker than I need, so I need to add more white into it, but it's okay, it's good. Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer I have underneath everything, so you saw it when I was still in the macro mode applying things. Then I have Sephora Contour Stick and Shelby Makeup Luperca palette as my contour, also very fitting, I would say, and I'm generally enjoying how it looks, this combination, let's say, on me. Then I combined Guava Juice with Love Cake by Glam, the 2 blushes, and they create this blushy something on me, which is not bad at all. I kind of enjoy it. Pink Glow Highlighter by Bobbi Brown. Everything's pink. Yeah, and for my lips I used Endless Cacao by Makeup Forever together with this Dolce & Gabbana Speranza lipstick, just matte lipstick. I wanted something more nude because I have such active eyes, so I thought that it's gonna be fitting a bit, and generally it's not a bad lipstick, to be honest. So that's the look, that's the vibe, and yeah, that's what I got so far. I want to try to do some face painting with this look so that I can have my Halloween also filmed the same day. It takes a lot of time, unfortunately, and I don't think I will be able to do it separately, so I have to kind of add this. I don't know. I will try, but it doesn't mean that I will succeed. So that's the plan, that's the idea. Okay, I will not return in the Halloween look, but you will be able to see it in shorts if I would do it. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with the makeup today, and I will see you in the next one tomorrow. So it's me again, and we are doing the second makeup look today. We are doing the orange to purple, and I will start with the shade Grimoire into the inner side of my eye. This shade will be like a base for orange shade, the sparkling one, but for the second part I need to place the shade Hex pretty much all over the lid, trying to cover the things, the whole lid with it as a base, because then it will be easier to blend things on top of it, and it will just create the smooth surface needed for pigments. And you don't have to worry about not mixing them, not blending them together, because it will be covered with different shades and it doesn't matter right now. But just so you know, it's okay to leave it like that. It's like a base color of paint that you place. You don't have to be precise. You don't have to be very specific. Then I'm taking the shade Black Magic. This will be the shade I'm mixing with the orange, and this will be like a second shade. I also place it to the inner side under the brow so that I can have it there as well. And I'm trying to blend it outwards basically with everything so that I have this nice pinkish purple as well on the blendable areas. Then I'm going back to Grimoire just to like mix them up together, and in the center of this you get something more on the burgundy side, because when you mix orange with purple you get something a bit more, yeah, burgundy, I guess. That's a good description. So, and once I'm more or less happy with that, I go to the shade Hecate. So Hecate, the goddess name basically. And I'm placing it to the outer third and trying to blend things with it as well. I'm also dabbing it slightly into the beginning of the eye where it meets the orange, so that I have it as the second darkening shade. And of course, don't forget the lower lid. Then I'm going into Black Cat. Black Cat is going to be my liner, and I also want to use it to slightly outline the crease, so it's darkened in there but not too much, if you know what I mean. And this will be, yeah, I'm just going back to the previous shades to place them on top to blend it slightly. I decided to also go beside the orange so that I can have the darkening fully in the crease, so I think it kind of looks nice, and that will be the idea here. Then I'm going to the shade Coven to the lower lid. It's making like it's a shade of the night for me, you know. This whole thing, this whole situation gives me something about the night, and I am actually really inspired by that. Super interesting how it turns out. As I said, you don't have to blend everything very thoroughly, because we will be covering them with the other shades, with the sparkling shades anyway, so it doesn't matter, to be honest. And once I'm done with the blending of the mattes, I can go into the shade Incantation. It's very bright orange. It's brightest, it's glowing, it's very, very cool. And I'm placing it to the inner part completely, including the lower lid. Orange on top of the purple is looking awesome, in my opinion. And to the center and to the outer side, I'm taking the shade Resting Witch Face, and I'm blending them a bit together so that we can have this very cool effect of the multi-chrome right on the lid. I know that the Resting Witch Face goes into green and it has purple in it, and we have orange that also goes to green, which doubles up basically. So when you are moving your lid, moving around, you can see it from both sides. It's really interesting and very bright, very colorful. I'm really into that, I have to say. And I think I will only use I will only need a liner, and I'm going to come back to you with the finished results. So this is my look, and I am blown away by these colors. They're super vibrant, super right in your face. You don't have to search for anything to make them pop. You don't have to do anything. It's just light, and it's good enough. They are not going to run away from my lid so far. It's been more than an hour, I think, and they are just holding on, and they are making crazy shifts. It's all, I'm just turning my head slightly and you can see the yellowish green in the yellow side, and then boom, there is a green on the purple side. It's crazy, and I am so into this. Like, this pigmentation of the shimmers, of the multichromes, is not that easy to find. It's very different from what I've tried before. That's why I'm so into collections of this brand, but it's just, I have no words. It's very pretty. Also, the purples I kind of like more than the pinks here. Purples fit me better, I would say. They're not making me as pink because, yeah, fuchsia, bright Barbie pink is something that is not really my color, I would say. But these are, and they are looking awesome. And I'm just... yeah, I have no words to describe how pretty it is and how bright, and it's just, this vibrancy is unmatched. They are glowing on the lids. So, on this note, what else do I have on my face? So, I used Tarte Shape Tape with the MAC Studio Face and Body. I just mixed a bit of concealer with the white foundation, and it gives me relatively normal tone. I just mixed a bit too much. Happens. Sephora contour stick, the same as usual, nothing changed here. For the blush, I used also Bella Baked Blush Palette, and these two shades, one is Muffin, one is Red Velvet. This is Muffin, this is Red Velvet, and I think they're also matching everything nicely. Then for highlighter, I used Kaleidos Solar Sailor, because yellow, we have some yellow here, and I'm matching it to here, so it's like together. Then I used where is it? Glam Ash Canvas, slightly purple. This is a blur liner. This I placed all over the lid, and into the center I placed MAC Stoic Locked Kiss ink. On the website usually it states as gray, but it's dark purple on me, and in general I think it's dark purple, so I don't mind that, but it was a misadvertisement for the website. Yeah. On Flaconi, where I bought it, it was initially shown as gray, but it's not gray, dark purple. And on top of all of that, I placed a bit of Gizu because I needed something to hydrate my lips instead of making them really dry and looking not very pleasantly, I'd say. But yes, this is the look, and this is all I want to show you and tell how it is so far, at least. And I'm pretty happy with everything. I mean, I'm not sure if I will be able to do something today still, or I would need to move things for tomorrow. Who knows? So far, that will be it. If I will come back, I will let you know. But we have one more to go with the green. So let's see what I can create. So I am back. It's Tuesday. Unfortunately, on Monday I was not able to do anything at all. It just took me by the guts, and I was not able to do anything. Yep, that's just time like that sometimes. And today I want to do something with the green. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but I want to connect the green with the purple. So let's begin. Creep It Real is the first shade, and I'm placing it from my inner corner pretty much throughout the whole crease up to the brow. That will be the base, and this will be the green accent in this look. I think it's gonna work okay in this scenario. I hope so, at least. So that will be the first one. It's very smooth and very nicely packed. However, when you try to blend it, it turns into yellow on me. That's because my natural pink tone neutralizes parts of the green in the shade, and it becomes more yellow. Yep, that's how it works, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I don't know, I did not decide yet. Then I'm going into the shade Glinda. That's gonna be my whole lid shade. This will be the base. This is how I'm gonna blend the shades after that. And when I'm more or less okay with the placing of Glinda, I will go into the shade Coven. Coven will be the first darkening side in this makeup look, and I'm placing it into the inner and outer corner. I'm dragging it as if it's a big wing, and it's just going to be very rounded as well in this scenario because my eyes are generally more rounded, and I'm going to outline it like that. I'm also slightly connecting it so that the crease is more defined, kind of, that you can see. And on the bottom lid I'm doing the same stuff with the same shade. Then I will go into the shade Black Cat with a small brush. This will be my darkening shade in this case, and I'm bringing it into the darkest points and by the edge, because the edge is really important. It has to be the darkest. It should be the most interesting, I would say. And then I'm bringing things together, just trying to blend them into each other, and at the same time I'm trying to keep the shape kind of somewhere here, you know. And once I'm more or less happy, I go back in the shades with the Glinda. I'm just placing it again in the center and blending out. As you can see, they have no problems blending together, because when you place something as a base, pigment fills the pores and everything on your skin, and after that it's much easier to blend anything you want on top of that. So if you never tried that, I highly recommend to try it. It's very interesting. It may save you quite some disappointment in some eyeshadow, in my opinion. Then I think we are ready for the shimmers. I'm going into the shade Cauldron. It will be my lid shade. I think it's the most bright in here. It goes from turquoise to purple, and you can clearly see the shift. It's very bright. I'm also placing it onto the bottom lid, and I placed it a bit too far, I would say, so I'm gonna blend it out later, just with a small brush, nothing fancy. And then I think I will go into the Hocus Pocus so that I can have it on my green area, basically. The green area is going to be covered with Hocus Pocus. I find it very bright green. I'm not sure what's gonna turn out in the end. This is giving me more of a ocean vibes, right, rather than the witch vibes. But we will see how it turned out. I don't see too much shift in that placement, but that's because of my specifics, because of my eyes, basically. Nothing to do here with that. Like, nobody can do anything here. It's just how my eyes are. And after I'm done placing the shades, I think we are also done with this look so far. I will add a bit of liner into here and come back to you with the finished result. So this is the look, and it kind of gives me more of a mermaid, something oceany rather than witch. The green shade with the shimmer on top turned out to be more neon-y to me, and that's why I chose something neon here to like kind of match it, to not let it slip. And I'm enjoying this. I like the form, I like the shapes, I like how it was blended, I like how they apply. I love these shimmers. I'm not completely sure what it has to do with the witch, but it's probably how I did the look rather than what it has to do actually with the Halloween colors, because they are in fact Halloween colors anyway. The purple and green are forever in there, but I just made them look a bit different, and that's why it gives me something different. And the shimmers I wanted to show you, here's the swatch. They are super shifting. You can see so many shifts. This is a lot, not a lot actually. This is like a couple touches of the shade, and they are so pigmented, so vibrant. I think they're both kind of having a more or less transparent base, but this is just so cool. How they perform, how they look, everything that you don't have to search for them. They are right there in your face, and it's just this one more like a bug, this one more like a mermaid to me. So yeah, there's something about the potions probably. I'm trying to like show you all the possibilities, but it's probably not actually gonna work in these conditions. Yeah, but I'm really happy with how everything turned out and what I created, and I need to collect my thoughts, do one more makeup look. Even though I'm already familiar with the formula and everything, I think it's fair to do 4 looks for this palette. Not something too small, not something too big, in my opinion. And I'm gonna be ready to tell you everything that I think about it then. For now, what else do I have on my face? Kevin Aquan Essential Skin Enhancer and the foundation balm. I like how natural the skin looks. Like it's skin. It's not anything weird or like that. It's skin. Then I have NARS Soft Matte Concealer in Vanilla. I have Sephora Contour Stick. All the same stuff as usual. Then I have Kaleida's Dream Walk as my blush today. I thought that something more on the purple side will give me a little bit of a natural kind of blushing, and it looks good. Then I have Jubilant Chorus Tie-Dye by Colourpop. This is a highlighter that creates this very soft effect, like glowing, like a mermaid glow kind of. And on the lips, initially I had a bit of a Huda contour in soft nude, but I did not reapply the contour or do anything. I just applied on top this NYX Lip IV Lip 4 Hydrating Gloss Serum in the shade Espresso Soak. They have a dark purple one, which I really want, but probably not this month. I already spent a lot of money on different things, and I don't need more lip products, even though I will get more lip products because I bought them. So we gotta try them, which is also not bad. Anyway, this was NYX, and this was the last piece of my makeup look. I am pretty happy with everything. I'm really enjoying how the shades are, how vibrant they are, how easy it was to work. Like, I did the eye in 10 minutes, and this is pretty damn good, in my opinion. And I will collect the thoughts, I will check what I think, what I can add, and etc. And I will come back to you in the new makeup look tomorrow. So this is my last makeup of this review, and I tried to be more subtle, at the same time a bit more graphic. I wanted something really cool, but more wearable, I would say. And this is kind of what I came up with. And this shade is called Perfectly Wicked on the whole lid, and a bit of a Hocus Pocus in the center, so that I have a bit more green standing out in the center, and then it's just green to pink, pretty much. So we have to talk about the palette. So far I do not notice anything that is creasing crazily, but I want to remind you that I don't have really oily lids. I have like just a bit of oil. I have normal skin right now. I'm not dry anymore, and I'm just feeling normal. After 4 hours it may start producing the oil, like my skin starts producing the oil, but it's not crazy amounts, nothing like too out of hand, so it has to be taken into consideration. I'm using Urban Decay Primer Potion Original as a base, and on top of that I'm placing MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, which is a cream eyeshadow that is self-fixating. And on that base I am basically working with every eyeshadow palette that I have. This palette definitely requires some specifics, which we will talk about, and yeah, I just wanted to tell something about this makeup look, and that I actually got Pink Eyes by Fenty, and this is really good. I don't like the packaging, it's just the cheap plastic to me, but the highlighter itself is really nice. Yep, that's looking great. I also want the lilac one, but not this month. Definitely not this month. And this concludes for now everything I wanted to tell about the makeup, because the other parts are just as usual. As you can see, it's pretty much blended. There are no problems for me in blending this because of the specifics of the work with this palette. So, talking a bit about the palette. It comes in, like, it's very protected, which is nice. It comes with protective circles on the eyeshadows, sparkles themselves. It comes in a bubble wrap, and etc, etc. It has a sleeve, so the sleeve repeats the design basically. It says that it's vegan, paraben and cruelty free, BellaBeauteBar LLC, 255 grams, which means it's the whole palette, 255 grams, which tells me almost nothing, and I would prefer to know the weight of eyeshadow themselves. But I compared them to the Nomad. Nomad has 1.5 gram per refill, and this is approximately the same, so we have 1.5 grams per refill, as you can see, which is a decent amount of eyeshadow, to be honest, and I don't mind that. We have the regular cardboard packaging. Basically, we have a mirror inside. It's very nicely stylized, and everything about it is kind of cool. You can see that the embossing here is very nice. This is all holographic, and it changes the color when you are switching the light It's also really nice. The whole ultraviolet, I think, is kind of in the same holographic design, but just the packaging, and here are just the letters. And it's magnetic palette, which also affects the price. The price is also affected by the fact that we have almost half of the palette in multichromes. The matte eyeshadow usually do not bump up the price so high, but the multichromes and the very visible multichromes are the ones that are actually affecting the price here. And it's, as I said, it's also magnetic, so you can take it out. Each eyeshadow has a little sticker on the back which says which eyeshadow it is by the name. So you can combine your own small palettes if you want to. For example, you're a big lover of purple, so you can combine 1, 2 or 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have your perfect palette for holidays, for example, which is absolutely great in my opinion, and you just have this possibility of taking some of the things with you. So other than that, the packaging is pretty normal. The eyeshadow themselves are pretty normal for BellaBeauteBar as well. This formula didn't change in the past couple years for sure, because this palette is from 2023, from September, I believe. That's when it was released first time, and the formula pretty much stayed the same. I can tell that the shadows that I tried this year, this year releases, are feeling and working the same way as this one. The specifics of this brand, I would say, is that you need to understand what is eyeshadow and what is a pigment. The eyeshadow are written here on the back, and the pigments are also written here on the back. For the eyeshadow, you work normally without any problems. You just pack it with a brush and blend. But for the pigments, you need to have something under the pigment in order for it to blend. So I had a very light shade first laid out. Even if it's very thin layer, it's not supposed to be like very visible or very opaque. It doesn't have to be like that. You can just kind of slightly dust it all over the lid, and then you apply your pigment, and pigment blends on top of that. And this gives no issues at all. You just have to do that. You can get used to that very quickly, and you will be on top of the world with the blending technique, because you can see how easily and how nicely it's blended pretty much. And that's the only actually thing that you need to know about the brand pigments. And we have quite a few pigments in pinks, quite a few in purple, more purple. I would say this is more of a purple palette to me. I have a bit of an issue with this shade just because of undertone. It makes me extremely pink. The same actually goes for the orange, but orange I kind of can tolerate a bit better. This Barbie pink is very strong. It's overpowering me, and it's like, it's just so strong for my skin, for my type, that it's not my favorite, I would say. There's nothing wrong with the pigment itself, it's just the color that actually gets to me. And there is also a shade that I don't understand what it's doing here. This shade is called Cauldron, and the Cauldron is purple to green turquoise, and I think it kind of fits into the ocean palette, ocean theme, mermaid something, rather than to a witch palette, because yeah, you have the lilac, you have this shade as well, you have a bit of a green, you don't have a turquoise because there is no blue in this palette, and that's why it just gets out of place for me. I would say this one fits into the Ocean Jewel or into the Dark Dreamscape more than to this one. Yeah, all of the shimmers are multichroming or duochroming or doing something. Some are a bit more subtle like this one, some are right into your face, blinding kind of, and it's really, really good. But as I said, it affects the final price for the palette as well. I do enjoy this. I enjoyed working with this. I do feel good about it. It's not the most inspiring palette for me due to its specifics with the pinks and stuff, and I'm not the hugest fan of pinks, and this is just me. It's not the product, you know. But yeah, if you are really loving the color schema, this might be the one. This might be really good. But I have to say, this palette is 2 years old at this point, and we have a new one that launched not long ago that is called Dark Dreamscape. And I just want to show you, I'm gonna do a review later, but I just want to show you because it gives me almost the same vibe. It's like a little sister, more pastel-y, but still a little sister of the basic witch. And this might be even better palette for the purple lover. So let me just stack them up together so I can give you the overview. So we have pinks, check, purples, check. We have more blue and periwinkle blue in Dark Dreamscape. We have also orange in Dark Dreamscape. This is more like egg yolk kind of shade. This is more of a pumpkin kind of shade, but you get the idea. So this one is like an elder sister that was first, and this one is a little sister that is a bit expanded. And if you really love the color schema except the green, for example, then the Dark Dreamscape probably is a better choice, considering that they are not that different in price. Not that different. Yeah, I would have gone with the new one. It's also, yeah, it's just new one kind of. But if you are more into Halloween colors, if you are more into brighter pinks, interesting purples, I would go with the basic witch. So you need to take into account that there are similarities already happening. The brand, I would say, is at the stage when the shades are going into undertones, subtones, something really similar to each other, and on the eyes you may not notice a difference if you're using the shade. For example, let me just demonstrate. We have the shade Black Magic, right? Here is the Black Magic. And here we have the shade Prison World. This is just the undertone difference, just the undertone. And because of that, you need to pay attention to what you actually want more at the end, which color story is speaking more to you, rather than which palette to take. And if you don't want to collect them, which is also totally fine, I am collecting them, you may want to go with something only one, because from previous palettes, especially if you have quite a few of them, you can create new ones just because this magnetic pans allow you to take shades out and create something new. So I did take 12 shades palette myself, that is empty magnetic acrylic palette by the same brand. And I can in fact create or try to recreate the new coming palettes or the palettes color stories that I really like. However, I'm not so big on singles, let's say, or on creating my own color stories. I like pre-created color stories. I like to work with them, trying to understand what the thought behind what it is about, and etc, etc. So if you're not like me, if you're not collecting, if you want only one palette, you need to think which one you prefer more. Maybe you'll want the expanded version as a Dark Dreamscape, because Dark Dreamscape for me is a combination of Ocean Jewel and Basic Witch, while yeah, you can take separately Ocean Jewel or Basic Witch. So if you are into Halloween-y stuff, this might be it. If you are more into pastel goth with the ocean vibe, like a mermaid stuff a bit, then the Dark Dreamscape is way to go. And that's just it. That's just what I wanted to say. And it needs to be said because the difference really subtle on the eyes, you will not notice it. That's the reality. That's just how it is right now. But yeah, it's really good quality. It's really nice palettes. If you work in a specific way, it's not gonna give you any problems. You have quite a bunch of shades. Yes, it's more on the more expensive side, because as I said, magnetic pans, very visible multi-chromes, all of that just affects the final price. This Basic Witch magnetic palette on official website of BellaBeauteBar.com is 69 USD without additional taxes, without shipping or anything, but also without a discount. I do have a discount with them. It's affiliated. I do get some small commission basically from your purchases if you use my code, which allows me to buy new palettes for review. I'm just spending the money that I ever get from the affiliate partnership on the same website. I actually offered Kristen, who is the owner of BellaBeauteBar, to actually I don't need the commission, just give me store credit or something so I can spend it on your website. And no. The same story with the PR. I'm not a fit for the brand apparently, at least I think so far. And I'm just buying it because yes, I'm a sucker for this formula. I'm a sucker for this palette and color stories, and I really like it. That's all I can tell. And yeah, it's up to you to decide if you want one or another or all. It's really not the biggest issue in this world, to be honest. It's up to you, and I'm just here to show you what can be done and how they perform and what's the way of working with them in general. So let's have a look on all of the makeups I created with the palette Basic Witch, and I hope you enjoyed this review as much as I did enjoy creating it, because it was truly a pleasure and very interesting experience at the same time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, which helps. I would really love to read your comments or any of your thoughts about the palette or about makeup looks or about anything, and I hope to see you in the next review very soon about this palette.